If you remember, we left off at the end of part 2 because our PragerFU course leader, Go Devils, was making me sad, and I just couldn't take anymore. Fortunately, we're starting off part 1 on a much happier note.
If there is no God, each of us is as insignificant as a rock on an unknown planet.
Okay, that was a lie, but how else am I supposed to get asses in the seats or eyeballs on the screen? Actually, come to think of it, that's an apt metaphor for what our buddy Peter is trying to do here, because reality, you know, that thing that Peter's God, the artist, designed for us, well, it's ugly with a vengeance and messier than a Jackson Pollock painting. So the God thing he's pushing, also a lie, takes that away for the unthinking.
If God exists, death is conquered, because if there is a God, there is a reality outside of space and time.
What does that even mean? Outside space and time? Wait. So there's no space? I'll never fit in there. I have luggage plus 2 dogs. And hey, what about the mansion Jesus was going to give me? And no time? What am I going to do with my Apple Watch? And how will I do it? How will I do anything outside time? Geez, I was really looking forward to spending time in the afterlife with my very favorite people. I guess that's out. This sounds horrible.
If there is no God, there is nothing immortal, and all the good things in life are destroyed forever. You and everyone you love and everything you think matters are all consigned to oblivion.
Well, that beats ending up in a timeless, spaceless void of nothingness for all eternity. That's solitary confinement on steroids. You know that, right? Do you get that? That's awful. We know what solitary confinement does to people. Maybe that's why your God's psyche is so messed up. Ever think of that?
If there is no God, life is pointless. Everything we've done and lived for will ultimately be in vain.
All right, Peter, don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Has there ever been a more straightforward confession? For centuries, non-believers have accused the religious of needing the crutch of religion to shield them, to anesthetize them from the realities of our existential plight. And here's Peter waving his arms in the air and yelling to everyone that he needs his God meds. Okay, Peter, we get it. We understand. You're frightened. You can't handle reality. It is indeed a harsh place your all-loving God has created for us here. It requires a certain kind of courage lacking in some, perhaps most people. But there's no judgment here, okay? So you just sit down and we'll get your infusion started immediately. Oh. And I'll be right back with a cookie. Huh? Chocolate chip.
Can I prove with an absolute certainty that God exists? I can make the case that overwhelming evidence suggests that he does.
Well, if there's overwhelming evidence, then we don't really need to believe in God at all, right? We'll just all look at the overwhelming evidence and it'll become clear. Huzzah! Or by evidence, does he mean arguments, which are not evidence, but rather often an attempt to emotionally manipulate people and take advantage of their fears? No, Peter wouldn't do that. That would be slimy. I hope it's the evidence thing. That would be awesome, right? I mean, I've been looking for that my entire life. Although, if he's really got overwhelming evidence, why is he making the case for the benefits of believing?
But no, I can't prove that he exists with absolute certainty.
Okay, hold on. I might just be lost here. Which God are we talking about? Brahma? Shiva? Ganesha? I would love to hang out with Nandi. And I know Nandi is not a god. He's a cow, or more accurately, a bull. But still, as long as we're dreaming, right?
That's likely part of his plan. God deliberately doesn't give us absolute proof, so that we're free to choose or not to choose to believe in him.
Well, you just said that there's overwhelming evidence of God's existence. When I'm overwhelmed by evidence, I'm compelled. I don't really have a choice to believe. I just do. Like, well, for instance, gravity. I can't go to the top of the Empire State Building and jump off, choosing not to believe in gravity. Well, okay, I guess I can, but it's going to totally ruin my trip. Although if there's no clear evidence of Shiva's existence, then on what basis am I supposed to make such a choice to believe? I'm not understanding here. Does God want me to make an informed decision or not? This is getting very confusing.
So, which way do you want to go?
Well, it sounds like going won't be an option at all, not in a timeless, spaceless void of nothingness, #constipation, especially when I'm overwhelmed by evidence which, come to think of it, I don't think he ever presented, right? That sounds like that would be really important. Did I miss it? All right, hold on. I'm going to have to go back and see if I just missed it. We'll wrap this up in part 7. Until then, I'm me. Thanks for watching.